Hey, this is Jordan from Zero to Hero Muscle, doing a little bit of resting because that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's secret training video. Your rest, specifically how long you should be resting during your training. You can train as well as you want, but if you're not resting just as well, then your training means nothing. You're not optimizing it. So in order to help you get that done, you're going to learn just how long you should be resting in today's lesson. A lesson taken directly from my upcoming training course, Zero to Hero, the muscle building blueprint for skinny guys. So if you haven't signed up for my priority waitlist, make sure you click the link on your screen and add yourself to my email list before we run out of spaces. It literally takes just a few seconds. So get signed up and get ready to learn and enjoy this exclusive free training video. So many guys get so wrapped up into all the little details about working out, like what's the best way to train, what's the best equipment to use, what's the best amount of reps to do, what's the best amount of sets to do, and so on and so forth. So much focus on the actual process of weightlifting itself that they completely forget that what's happening between each of those sets of exercise is just as important. The proper rest time that needs to be happening between each set. Optimizing your rest time during your workouts is just as important as optimizing your workouts themselves. Rest too long and your muscles get over-relieved to the point that they become underworked, where they're not being challenged enough. Rest too short and your muscles get under-relieved to the point that they become overworked, where the challenge may be too much for you to take on. From what I've seen though, taking too short of a rest break is the least common problem amongst guys. The big muscle building problem that most guys are making is that they are resting way too long. Way too long. In the times I get stuck having to wait to use equipment in the gym, I'll notice that some guys are taking several minutes of rest between their sets. And even when I ask to work in, I'm able to pump out at least 2 out of my 3 sets I need to do during just one of their rest periods. Sometimes I'm even able to do all 3. That's insane. That's ridiculous. That is way too long of a rest break. What the hell are these guys doing? They're not powerlifting, which usually requires an extended rest period like that. They're lifting the same moderate weight that I am. Why the hell are these guys resting so long? I don't look up from my own workouts long enough to be able to figure it out. And I don't care to. I can only assume that they're probably goofing off, texting their friends, watching TV, doing something stupid that isn't helping their muscle building goals. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is what they are doing is wrong, and it's clearly evident in their physiques. Like I just said, the only time you should be resting for minutes at a time is if you're powerlifting, because that type of training style is so strenuous that you have to allow yourself that kind of recovery time in order to properly recuperate and rejuvenate yourself for your next set. But some of these guys who aren't even training in that style are resting even longer than those power lifters. You don't want to have a long and relaxed recovery period of rest. You want to have a very brief, rapid recovery rest period. When you're training to build muscle, you don't need to be resting that long. You shouldn't be resting that long. It's counterproductive to the ultimate goal. When you're training optimally, you're training high in intensity and short in time, which means you should only be resting short in time. It's the most optimal muscle building training style there is. So when you train optimally, your workout should last anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes. And at an ideal amount of 20 sets per routine, that breaks down to about 2 minutes per set, with the actual working part of a set lasting around 45 seconds. which provides you with the optimal recovery window of 60 seconds of rest period in between those sets, with an additional 15 seconds of time to transition from set to set. So just a brief 60-second rest period is the most optimal recovery period you want to aim for in between each of your sets. Anything beyond that, you're resting too long, and as a result, lowering the intensity of your workout. You don't want that to happen. You want to keep the intensity high at all times. You want to start with high intensity, and you want it to last all throughout your workout and end with high intensity. The only way to keep it up is with quick, brief 60-second rest periods. It doesn't sound like much, but trust me, that is plenty sufficient enough time between your sets to get yourself appropriately recuperated, recovered, and rejuvenated. And some of the time, you may find yourself not even needing to use up the full 60 seconds. Sometimes even just 30 seconds will do. Sometimes even less. The quicker you can recover in between your sets, the better. Quick and rapid rest periods are what allows you to maintain a high-powered intensity throughout your training that is going to yield you high-powered results. Don't be like these other clueless dum-dums who are using workout equipment as their own personal recliner to just sit back, relax, and take as long of a rest break as they so desire. These guys rest for what seems like forever. Then, they're dumbfounded when their results seem to take forever to show up. It's because they're resting too long. Never take too long of a rest between your sets. That's going to get you nowhere. In order to get yourself somewhere and to make sure that somewhere is full of muscle growth, make sure you optimize your rest periods as much as you optimize your actual training, with rapid recovery rest periods that are going to reward you with rapid results.
If you enjoyed what you just learned in this free secret training video, make sure you join my priority waitlist for my full training course, Zero to Hero, the muscle building blueprint for skinny guys, where you'll learn my 20 skinny killing muscle building secrets for how to fully transform yourself from an average, pathetic zero into a ripped, aesthetic superhero. All you need to do is click the link on your screen, enter your name and your email, and you'll be all set for the next release date. It literally takes just a few seconds. So go ahead and do that right now before we run out of spaces, and I will see you in the next training video.